Good morning, sunshines. Day 8 of our magic practice. I am Callie Carroll and excited to take you through our gratitude for food, is what we're going to dive into today. And it's funny because this seems to be one of the primary, and I kind of want to say, like, only for the masses, places where we tend to give gratitude. Isn't that interesting? Why is it that we sit around a table of food and a lot of families, a lot of people will give thanks for the food that's about to nourish their bodies? And I think that's wonderful and incredible. At the same time, it makes me think right away. I'm like, but why, when we wake up in the morning, aren't we like, oh my gosh, thank you, thank you, thank you for these feet that just planted on the ground and for these legs that are about to carry me throughout the day, which is why we're doing the practice. We're hoping that we're creating a shift within that. But today we do get to specifically dive into the magic ingredient to our gratitude for food in a much deeper way. So I don't know about you guys, but when we, say grace before a meal, we do a lot of different things, and we do thank God for this food that's about to nourish our body. But it's I want to say topical, kind of, because it doesn't do what we're about to do with our magical practice. When I connected to this, I was like, yo, this is wild. This is wild when you get down to the nitty-gritty and you actually think about where your food is coming from and everything that had to occur for you to be able to have that experience. One of my really great friends, she started doing this with her children on a regular basis. Like, they'd be in the car and they're eating a granola bar. And she's like, you guys, let's think about where this granola bar came from for a second. Okay, so like, we look at the ingredients. We've got oats in there, we've got chocolate in there. I don't know what's another, probably some sugar. I don't know how you make a granola bar, so this was probably a bad example, but whatever. So, like, just the oats, what had to happen for those oats to be planted, harvested, produced, packaged, shipped, get to a plant? Then that plant has this person, this innovator, that's created this product, this food that we're going to enjoy. And they have a team of employees, and they have equipment that's in a building that somebody had to build by a construction worker that woke up at 5 a.m. to get in his truck to go to work that day. But he needed a truck in order to get there, and he bought that truck from wherever. And what about all those people that produce that truck? Like, it is a never ending stream of gratitude of what occurred for that child to have a granola bar in the back of their car. And that was a very high level of just the oats, you know, all of the other pieces from all of the other places and all of the other people, and every hour and ounce of work and effort that was put into planting, harvesting, producing, packaging, shipping, getting to, then that's the raw products, right? Getting to the space where there's the company that had the idea to make the product and put it all together and figure out how to have that delivered to you. And then the grocery store, this store, you guys get this. You're going to just check this out. This is wild. I could right now, if I wanted to, I could get into my vehicle that's it's in my garage. It's covered in a garage. If it was snowing right now, there wouldn't be any snow on it. And I could turn a key. I don't turn a key anymore. I could push a button, and I could drive 5 minutes and park in these little organized lines so they don't hit any other humans, and grab this cart that's going to carry all of these items. And I could go in and I could get any granola bar I wanted. I could grab an apple. I didn't have to harvest the apple. I didn't have to grow the apple tree. I didn't have to water the tree. I didn't have to make sure that there were no bugs, that ate through that product. I could just grab an apple. And then I could go over, and my kids drink a lot of milk, right? I could just grab a gallon of milk that's cleanly packaged into this little thing with a handle so they don't drop it. And even if we do kind of drop it, it's made of the right plastic so that we're not going to, like, spill it everywhere. Maybe sometimes we do. But I could have this milk, and I don't have a cow. I don't have a cow back at the place. I didn't milk that cow in order to get that and then to process it or whatever that is. I just go and I just grab milk. It's wild. And you know what? We're a pizza family. I'm not going to lie. We have pizza at least once a week, and that's That's probably like more like 4 times a week. I could go to the frozen food aisle if I didn't feel like dialing the number to order and grab this pizza with this crust and this dough and this cheese and these toppings and the sauce. And I didn't have to do anything except for hand over $5 for the return of this pizza. It is nuts. When you go in to think about your accessibility of food at your fingertips and all of the effort and work that it took for that granola bar to be in that child's hand that's going to keep them from having a hangry attack, get them a little bit of nourishment in their body. It is absolutely wild. And do not even get me started on water. Oh man. I I cannot tell you guys how often I do gratitude for water. It is I just always have just the way that it nourishes our bodies, knowing that we're over 50% water and if we don't have that water in our bodies, we cannot function, our brain, our heart, our blood, our skin, like we have to have that water and we have access to water. There are this is the glad game piece of it. There are people who do not have access to water, that do not have access to food, who are hungry all day long. And here we are overeating, over consuming, over purchasing. We might be complaining about grocery prices. That's not helpful. Guess what? You have a grocery. That's pretty freaking cool. You have access. And when you start to live from a space like that and you sit down for a meal of food, you don't guzzle the food anymore. You're not just like throwing it in so that you can move on. You're not, right? You're actually like you look at the food, you look at your plate of food and you think about all the things how that had to occur for you to get that. I'm guessing you're going to eat and drink with a little bit more calmness, slowness, and presence. And that's just a healthier way to be. Today's practice is to actually do just that. Is to every single time you consume anything, whether that's a sip of water or a bite of an apple, to just connect to the different things that had to occur for you to get that item into your hand and into your belly. And let yourself slow down around it. See how your body reacts when you slow down. This is the whole like streamlined conversation into intuitive eating too, where we can be with our food and really think about what we're looking for from our food. It supports us in making different choices in our consumption. It supports us in slowing down so that our digestion's better, so we're not over consuming. And at the same time, it's making our happy heart, our chests go, our shoulders go back and our chests come out, and just that happy space of wow. And I'm betting that as some of you take on this practice, it's also going to connect you a little bit more with the availability of servitude and support for those others who don't have access. Maybe you're like, wow, I'm going to enjoy the nourishment of this apple, but then I'm gonna maybe think about where I can be giving a little bit more. My husband was just at an event or a tournament, and he works in the soccer industry, and they had over ordered for the team because they didn't know all these different athletes, so they had this extra food at the end, and they went and packaged it up, and then went out and delivered it to people that didn't have food on the streets. They just here's package, here's all the different things that we have. Um, and not for any other purpose aside from we have this extra and someone could undoubtedly benefit and gain from this. So it could help support you in a different space of giving and servitude as well. Isn't this a beautiful practice? We're only on day 8, and I look at this and my heart is just like, wow, if even a a fraction of the people who listen to this practice it and share it and talk about it. Imagine the butterfly effect that this could have in the world. People starting to say thank you in a deep thank you before they grab the food and water that nourishes their body and the way they show up. And people starting to open their hearts to this kindness and this different way of being. And It's exciting. It's exciting for me, you guys. Can you tell I'm excited about it? Today, for your magic ingredient, you're going to go through, pay attention to what you're eating, pay attention to where it came from. Don't get lost in it because you could spend 5 hours on every single bite of food. That's not going to be probably very supportive in your day to day action, but at least connect to it and maybe have a conversation with it, somebody else, maybe a coworker. Like, have you ever really thought about all that had to occur for us to grab this salad really quick at this restaurant? Or maybe to your kids, open their eyes about it. Hey guys, like, I know you love your Eggo waffles. Let's talk about all that had to occur for those Eggo waffles to be on your little cute plate, and start to spread the gratitude at the same time. We are in the middle of our 28 days of practice with Rhonda Byrne's book, The Magic. And if you guys have not caught up on the other days, you can just dive into food for the next month if you want to. Or you can go back, you can re-listen, you can rewatch. We've got a full 28 days of the practice guided by her. And I'm just here to support you guys in thinking a little bit more, diving in a little bit deeper, giving you something to relate to and support you on your magical process. I am Callie Carroll, and thank you for joining me again on another beautiful day. Remember that perspective reveals miracles, and I'm excited